Joe Burrow is back on the practice field. The Bengals opened the 21-day practice window for the quarterback, who is returning from turf toe that's had him sidelined since mid-September. The Bengals currently sit third in a wide-open AFC North with a Week 11 matchup with the division-leading Steelers on deck. But how can we expect this division to shake out as the season rolls on? For more, I'm joined by CBS Sports NFL analyst Emory Hunt. Emory, we've talked about how seamlessly Joe Flacco has stepped in for that offense, but Burrow did hint at a return on Thanksgiving night against the Ravens. So, Emory, take us through the rest of the season. Does a Burrow return help save the Bengals season?
It does not, Madeline. I'm sorry about that. When you think about the Bengals, and the first thing that comes to mind is, can they play defense consistently? So when you look at the last 8 games of the Bengals schedule, it's hard to find them in a situation where, you think the defense is going to help them out, because we know they, but can they stop anybody, which has been a common theme for Cincinnati all the while the last couple of years. They haven't been able to play great defense. So if you look at the schedule, losses. The only win I feel like that they have on the schedule where they can, play up to par and beat an opponent is against Miami on the road. So you talk about going, 2-6 down the stretch of these games here. So for me, it's just like, they'll put together back-to-back wins against the Dolphins and the Cardinals. But man, when you talk about the Steelers, Patriots, Ravens, Bills, and the Browns, we'll get to why the Browns is a loss at the end of the season in a minute. But I don't see their defense being able to win some of these high leverage games, regardless if they have Joe Flacco or Joe Burrow. It won't matter in the end because they just don't have the defense to compete on the back end of the schedule.
You've got them beating the Dolphins that just beat the Bills. I mean, listen, any given Sunday, any team can come out on top, but I like it. I respect it. All right, speaking of teams with injured quarterbacks, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson did not practice on Wednesday. He was listed as out with a knee injury. Still unclear how or if that will affect his availability Sunday against the Browns, but Baltimore's been playing inspired since his return. Is this Ravens resurgence going to continue? Emory, take us through their schedule.
Well, if you guys are loyal watchers and viewers of CBS Sports HQ, last week I said the Ravens won't lose another game. Now, the first quarter, I was like, man, they're going to retweet the heck out that tweet of me saying that. But the Ravens did what they were supposed to do. They pulled out. They played great defense. So I will stand 10 toes down once again. They are not losing another regular season game. And even if Lamar Jackson doesn't play this week against the Browns, you talk about that defense of Baltimore. It has gotten better against Dillon Gabriel, who has struggled in every start he has made. That's a game they can win with Tyler Huntley. And I'm glad they brought Tyler Huntley back because he is what they've done behind Lamar Jackson. But I don't see this team losing another regular season game, which is why you saw those odds to begin this segment. The Ravens was minus 230 to win the AFC North despite being second in the division with a 4-5 record. That tells you all you need to know. I love the fact that this team is playing its best ball on the back end of the season. And if Lamar Jackson and company can pull this off, guess who's going to be the MVP this year? Lamar Jackson. You heard it here first. Once again, tweet that out.
I love that you've got the Ravens schedule looking like some DJ Khaled lyrics. All you do is win, win, win. I love the confidence. I'm here for it. The Ravens, all right, let's go. Elsewhere in the division, the Steelers, they're still atop this division, but plenty of doubters for Pittsburgh. Does this team finish above the Mike Tomlin 500 threshold again this season?
I'm glad you said that, Matt, because that's what's going on in the back end of the schedule. They're going to win a week, lose a week, win a week, lose a week. And every time they lose, the loud minority of Steeler fans, you got to fire Mike Tomlin and go get insert whoever they feel as though is going to replace Mike Tomlin. And somehow, some way, Tomlin will find a way to win more than he loses. But I see the Steelers offense being a significant question mark, right? We've seen their defense start to find their way as we're getting close to the back end of the season. And when you look at this schedule, I can see them winning some games against Buffalo. They'll play up to the competition against the Browns and against, the Dolphins. But man, some of these games, they usually give the Ravens some problems, but I like the Ravens defense versus Aaron Rodgers led offense. That's where I feel like the Steelers will take a step back, but they'll win more than they lose. Tomlin will have his winning record. That streak will continue once again, and the Steelers are a team that could also find themselves in the playoffs once well.
The only thing certain in life, death, taxes, and Mike Tomlin's Steelers finishing above 500. Emory on top of that one. All right, so you've got the Ravens winning out and winning this division. You've got the Steelers at 9-8. Do you have Pittsburgh getting one of the 3 wild card spots?
I do. I do have the Steelers getting to the postseason. I have the Ravens obviously winning the division. I do feel like when we look across the AFC, one of those teams out west will take a significant step back. It will, in my opinion, be the Denver Broncos. That'll push the Pittsburgh Steelers into that spot of the seventh seed, and that's all they need to go to get to the strive for that seventh seed to get to the postseason, and then anything can happen once you're in the tournament. So I like them to get to the postseason. I like one of the teams out west to take that step back to where that opens up a spot for Pittsburgh.
All right, let's talk about these Cleveland Browns. Coming off a Week 10 loss to the Jets, Cleveland is reportedly not yet ready to hand over the reins from Gabriel to rookie Shedeur Sanders, but it's only a matter of time before they do, right? When you look at their schedule the rest of the season, how do you see things going for Cleveland, and at what point do they kick the tires on Shedeur?
Well, we won't see Dillon Gabriel win another game. So he'll lose this game against the Baltimore Ravens. He'll lose the game on the road against the Raiders, and then we'll see Shedeur Sanders start at home against San Francisco. Shrewd business move here because, one, 4 of the last 6 games are at home. They got to fill that stadium up, so why not start the highest selling rookie jersey with 4 of those home games on the back end of the schedule? They'll beat San Francisco. Everybody will go crazy. They'll beat the Titans in that game, probably get flexed because why? 2 top quarterbacks going up against one another, Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. It's going to be box office, right? They'll win that game. Then they'll lose to the Bears. They'll beat the Bills, and that will get everybody going crazy again. They'll lose to Pittsburgh and Mike Tomlin. That'll be a 9-6 ball game. Defense will reign supreme. And then they'll close out with a win against the Bengals, going into the offseason with their franchise quarterback already in tow in Shedeur Sanders. They have all that draft capital now to draft good players around him. And the reason why I feel like San Francisco is the best spot to start Shedeur Sanders, because if they're going in order of when they drafted these guys, Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, they just want to give Dillon Gabriel more games, more starts than Shedeur. Dillon would have 7, Shedeur would have 6, but we know Shedeur would make do with what he's given with those 6 games. He'll win 4 of them going into the offseason. A lot of optimism heading into 2026.
A lot of faith in your guy, Shedeur Sanders. I like it. And as you mentioned, they've got a lot of draft picks, 10 draft picks to build around the young quarterback. Emory Hunt, thanks so much for the insight. As we take a look at the current top 6 picks in the 2026 NFL Draft, if the season ended today, this would be the top of the draft order. Tennessee on the clock, followed by New Orleans, the Giants, the Browns, the Jets, and the Raiders. Again, the Browns. Picks in the 2026 NFL Draft. How will they build moving forward?